Hello, everybody. Today we're going to continue our discussion of finding perimeter. We're in lesson 11.2, and our essential question is how can you measure perimeter? Okay, so you should be able to explain how to measure it, how to measure perimeter by the end of our lesson. We are on page 457 of the third grade Co-Math textbook. And so it says you can estimate. Remember, an estimate is an educated guess, a reasonable guess about the length of something and measure the perimeter in standard units such as inches and centimeters. All right, so to unlock the problem, find the perimeter of the cover of a notebook. Okay, so you'll need to find some type of notebook, and you can also you'll need an inch ruler that has inches as well as centimeters on them. Okay, so you'll want to pause while you collect those items. Okay, now once you have your item, let's estimate the perimeter of our notebook. So let me zoom out. Maybe it'd be better to go this way. Yeah. Okay, so I want to find the perimeter from here to here to here to here and back up. Okay, so remember, perimeter is the distance around the outside of a figure. All right, so in the case of a notebook, it's typically a rectangle. Now, I've heard that lined paper is like about 8.5 by 11. We often hear that term for the size of paper, 8.5 by 11. So it says the first part of this says estimate the perimeter of a notebook in inches. So I think I'm going to draw the copy of my notebook. Okay, so that's my semi-rectangle. Don't fire me. It could have been straighter. I'm going to put 8 at the top and the bottom. I'm going to say the length is 11. So I'm going to say it has a length of 11 and a width of 8. I could be wrong. Okay, this is just an estimate. Okay, so we know that if we add up all the sides, we'll get the perimeter. All right, so I'm saying 8 plus 11. Well, 11 plus 8. 8 plus 1 is 9, right? So 19. And the other 8 plus 11 has to be 19. So we have to add 19 plus 19 together. Okay. And 9 and 9 is 18. We'll regroup that as 110 and 8 ones. And now we add up our 2 tens plus the regroup 10 gives us 3 tens. So I'm saying my perimeter is about 38 inches. Okay. Again, I could be wrong, but I shouldn't be too far off. Okay. I don't think the perimeter of this book is going to be like 70. All right. So my answer might be 3 to 5 inches off, but it should be fairly close. All right. So now use an inch ruler to measure the length of each side of the notebook to the nearest inch. Okay. So you have your inch ruler. Okay. Now, how do I know which side is the inches? Well, it says inches. Oops. It says inches. If I turn it over, I see the abbreviation cm. cm stands for centimeters. So one side of your ruler is centimeters, and the other side is inches. All right, so now you notice those little white space on my ruler? So my very first line is 0. The edge of my ruler is not 0. So whenever I'm measuring, I want to double check to make sure. Some rulers, the very edge is 0. Okay, so double check that. And so when I measure, I'm going to have to make sure that I line up the edge that I'm measuring with this. So I'm going to put this here. Okay, zoom in so we can see what I'm talking about. So right there, okay, I'm going to start at this point. This is my 0 point. Okay, and then I want to see how long it is. Okay, so we're at 0 at the edge of the notebook, at 0. And now where does it end? It ends right there. So let's look at that. So that's just about 10 and a half. Well, we know that if something's a half, we actually go up. Okay, so this is about 11 inches. Okay, if you, so I'm going to say 11 because it says to the nearest inch. Some might say 10. Let me try again. Let me look at it again to see if I get the same thing or if I get 10. No, it's still, I still get right on the edge of 10 and a half, right? Because this long mark in between the whole numbers, that's half. So 10 and a half. And I'm going to round that up to 11 because the directions said round to the nearest inch. Okay. So the length of my notebook was between 10 and 11. Since it was exactly in the middle of 10 and 11, I'm going to go up to 11. All right. So measure yours to the nearest inch. All right. Now, so that was the length, right? So we're saying that this is about 11 inches. That means this side is 11 inches, okay? Because rectangles have two pairs of sides that are equal in length. This side and this side is equal. This side and this side is equal. All right, so now let's measure this side going left to right. So again, line up the ruler at the 0 line or the 0 mark. So I see that it's right there at 0. Okay, and where does it end? Move to just a little. Okay. Now, so the edge of the paper goes almost to 8, right? It's almost sitting at 8. If we go to just here at the edge of the circles, it's still 7.5. Well, actually, it's a little before. It's a little past 7.5. Okay, it would be right here for a measure to the side of the 0, to the hole, and it would be almost exactly 8 if I went to the edge, all the way to the edge of the cardboard. So we're going to say that that's 8, no matter what. Okay, so I'm saying that it's 8 inches by 11 inches. All right, so now let's write in our numbers. We had a length of 8 and a width of 8. We had a length of 8 and a width of 8. So those were my guesses, right? I said I thought it would be 8.5 by 11. So mine does come out to 38 inches. So the perimeter of the notebook cover measured to the nearest inch is 38 inches. Okay, so if we were exact, I think it would be a little less than 38 because we rounded this up. Okay, all right, let's keep practicing. So use an inch ruler to find the length of each side. Now, do I need to really measure all 4 sides? No, I only have to measure 2 of the sides because their opposite sides are going to have the same measurement. All right, so let's put your ruler at 0. Okay, so I see that it starts here and ends right there. That's right on 2. Okay, so this is 2 inches. Okay, how about the width? Okay, I put it at 0, and I see where it ends. It ends right at the 1. So it's 1 inch wide. So if this side is 2 inches, that side has to be 2 inches. If this side is 1 inch, its opposite side has to be 1 inch. So we basically have 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1. And what does that add up to? 2 plus 1 is 3. So the other two sides add up to 3. And 3 plus 3 is 6. So we get a perimeter of 6 inches. Okay, now it says use a centimeter ruler. Okay, so use the opposite side, the one with the smaller marks. Okay, put your ruler at 0 centimeters. Okay, so I have it at 0, and I have to see where it ends. It ends right there. What line is that? That's 3. So 3 centimeters. That sure looks like a square, right? Let's confirm it. Because if 2 of the sides are 3, that means all 3 are 3 centimeters. So I put this at the top of this side at 0, and I see where it crosses at the end. Where does it meet at the end? Right at 3 centimeters. Okay, so yes, this is a square. So all sides are equal. And if all sides are equal, we'll just put 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Or we can also, for a square, we can also say 4 sides times 3. Right? Because there's 4 sides and they all add up, or all equal 3. So 4 times 3 could also be a way to solve the perimeter of a square. All right, so 3 plus 3 is 6. And 3, again, if 2 of the sides add up to 6, the other 2 sides have to add up to 6. So 6 and 6 is 12 centimeters. All right, let's go to page 458. Number 1, find the perimeter of the triangle in inches. So find the distance around the triangle in inches. So make sure you use the right side. And so one side is 1 inch. So that side is 1 inch. How about the bottom? The bottom is also 1 inch. And this side is 1 inch. Oh, silly me. I didn't even notice they had the lines there. Okay, anyway. So each line is 1 inch, right? So 1 plus 1 plus 1. Or, since all sides are equal, we could simply say 3 times 1. Not a difficult problem, though, right? 1 plus 1 plus 1. 3. 3 inches. All right. Number 2, use the centimeter ruler to find the perimeter. All right, so this looks like a rectangle. But let's see. So line up there, 0. So this length is 4 centimeters. Okay. So from here, that's 0 to where it ends. It stops at 4 centimeters. Okay, so I know the bottom is also 4. How about the side? Okay, start at 0. And it ends at 3. So if that side's 3, this side's 3. So we're going to go 3 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4. So 3 plus 4 is 7. The other side is also, the other two sides also add up to 7. So the perimeter of this shape is 7 plus 7. And 7 plus 7 is 14. Okay, 14 centimeters. Number 3. So this time we have 5 sides, but it doesn't matter. Find perimeter. We just add up all the sides that a shape has. All right, so let's measure this little guy. And that's right at 1 centimeter. It stops right here. 0 to 1. Okay, going around it now. This one is right at 2 centimeters. This side, 3 centimeters. This side stops at 4 centimeters. And the last side also stops at 3 centimeters. So 3 centimeters. So this time we're going to add 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 3. Okay. 5 numbers, 5 sides. 2 and 1 is 3. 3 and 4 is 7. Plus 3 more is 10. 10 plus 3 is 13. So 13 centimeters. Right, number 4 and 5. Use an inch ruler to find the perimeter. Well, this looks like a rhombus or a square. Okay, which means it would probably have all 4 sides equal. But in geometry, we don't want to guess. Okay, we don't want to take anything for granted. We don't assume anything. So let's actually measure. And I see that this side is 2 inches. And I see that this side is also 2 inches. Okay, so if this side is 2 inches, this side has to be 2 inches. If this side is 2 inches, this side has to be 2 inches. So we can get 4 times 2, or 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. Remember, all we have to do is add up all the sides. The reason I can multiply this one is because all the sides are equal. So 4 times 2 is 8 inches. 2 plus 2 is 4. Plus 2 is 6. Plus 2 more is 8. So 8 inches. All right, number 5. Now this is not a rectangle, so the opposite sides are not going to be equal. Okay, so we're going to have to measure all 4 sides. So the bottom is at 1 inch. It ends here, starts here, 1. The top is not going to be 1. It's 2 inches. Okay. It stops right at 2. All right, the left side. It also stops at 2. And the third side, it stops at 2. So we have 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1. So the perimeter of that shape is 2 plus 2 is 4. 2 plus 1 is 3. So the perimeter is 7 inches. 7 plus 3. 7 plus 3. 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 inches. All right. Use a ruler to find the perimeter. Okay, this side and this side are going to be equal. This side and this side will be equal. Inch. So put it on 0. Find where it matches. Our ends, it ends at 2 inches. So the top is 2 inches and the bottom's 2 inches. This side, start at 0 and it ends at 3. So 3 inches, 3 inches. So our perimeter is 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3. Does it matter where we start? No. Okay? Because we're just going all the way around. So it really doesn't matter. I could have said 3 plus 2 plus, okay? So 2 plus 3 is 5. And the other 2 sides are add up to 5. So 5 plus 5, 10 inches. Number 7. All right, so it says centimeters. So let's measure the top. And the top is at 3 centimeters. This side here is 2 centimeters. The bottom part going to the left from here to here is also 2 centimeters. Going down is 3 centimeters. This little section is just 1 centimeter. And the last side is 5 centimeters. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. So we have to add 6 numbers. So perimeter equals 5 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1. I'm going to rewrite that. Give myself more room. 5 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1. 2, 4, 6 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. Okay, so 5 plus 3, 8. 2 plus 2, 4. 3 plus 1, 4. So 8 plus 8. 4 and 4 is 8. 8 and 8 is 16. So 16 centimeters. Okay, number 8. Use the grid paper to draw a figure that has a perimeter of 24 centimeters. Label the length of each side. To draw a figure that has a perimeter of 24 centimeters. So what we want to do is go around our shape that has 24. Now, if we think in terms of a rectangle, we know that 2 of the sides equal the other 2 sides. So I could take half of 24. What's half of 24? What 2 numbers added together give us 24? Well, I know that 10 plus 10 is 20. So 11 plus 11, that's 22. And 12 plus 12. Okay, so 12 plus 12. So if I had a rectangle that had 2 sides that add up to 12, I would have a perimeter of 24. So what are some ways of making 12? Well, I don't know. We could have 1 plus 11, right? 1 plus 11 is 12. 2 plus 10, that's 12. So all I'm doing is coming up with sides that would give me half of the rectangle, that would be 12. The other half would be the same measurements. So 3 plus 9 is 12. 4 plus 8 is 12. 5 plus 7 is 12. 6 plus 6 is 12. And then the numbers would just repeat again. So there's actually 6 different ways I could draw this shape just using a rectangle. You could just draw centimeters and make a funny little shape as long as it adds up to 12. Adds up to 24 by the time you finish. I'm going to use 5 and 7. Okay, 5 and 7. Okay, and so I don't really need to use my ruler because this is centimeter grid paper. So I'm going to have one side that's 5. So let me zoom out now. I want one side of 5 and another side of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 7 long. Seven, or you could say 7 wide. It didn't really matter. I guess I could use my ruler though to draw straight lines. That would be helpful. Kind of a flimsy, so it's not a very good straight edge. All right, so I have 5 here. The opposite side is 5. This is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that means this side is 7. 5 plus 7 plus 5 plus 7. So you remember I said that half of the circle would add up, half of the rectangle would add up to 12. Well, what's 5 plus 7? 5 plus 7 is 12. So if these two sides add up to 12, the opposite two sides have to add up to 12. So 12 plus 12 is 24 centimeters. Okay, so, and we should label it. So put 5 centimeters and 7 centimeters around your rectangle. All right, so that's one way to do it. You can do it any way you want, okay, just as long as it adds up to 24. All right, 460, number 9. Which of the animal photos has a perimeter of 26 inches? All right, well, 5 plus 8 plus 5 plus 8. This time I think I'm going to rearrange the numbers to have 5 plus 5 plus 8 plus 8. Commutative property lets me do that, right? Okay, switch order of numbers. 5 and 5 is 10, and 8 and 8 is 16. So you see why I wanted to switch the numbers around and put the 5s next to each other? So this one has a perimeter of 26 inches. Okay, so what am I going to say? I'm going to say the bird photo. But let's also look at the cat. Maybe it's 26 too. So this one we have 4 plus 7 plus 4 plus 7. All right, so 4 plus 7 is 11. So the other side is 11. What's 11 and 11? 22. So 22 inches. So no, it's the bird photo. Now, how much greater is the perimeter of the bird photo than the perimeter? Okay, well, we know that the bird photo is 26 and the cat photo is 22. So 26 minus 22. What is 26? Take away 22. 6 take away 4. 6 take away 2 is 4. 2 tens take away 2 tens is 0. So we get 4 inches greater. Number 11. Erin is putting a fence around her square garden. Each side of her garden is 3 meters long. The fence costs $5 for each meter. How much will the fence cost? So draw a square on your paper to represent the garden. Okay. And each side is 3 meters. Okay, so what is the perimeter of her garden? Well, the perimeter is 4 times 3, or 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. So the perimeter is 12, right? So 12 meters. But that's not what my question was. Okay, so we used the fact that the garden was in a square and that it was 3 meters long. However, it says the cost is $5 for each meter. Well, we have 12 meters. Can we count 12 times 5? Sure, we can count 12 fives. Even if I had to skip count them, we could do that, right? We go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. But we could make it a little faster if I didn't know that. Because I know that 10 times 5 is 50. So one more 5 would be 55. And then one more 5 would be 60. So it's going to cost $60 of fencing. 12 times 5 is 60. Number 12. Gary's garden is shaped like a rectangle with 2 pairs of sides of equal length, and it has a perimeter of 28 feet. Explain how to find the lengths of the other sides if one side measures 10 feet. All right, so let's draw the rectangle. All right, so let's call this 10 feet, and its opposite side is 10 feet, right? So I'm going to put a box here and a box here to indicate, I don't know what that measurement is. I do know that perimeter equals length plus width plus length plus width, right? So I know that I have one side of 10 and another side of 10. So I know that my perimeter is 20 plus the two unknown sides, right? How did I get 20? I just added the two sides I know. All right, now, they told me that the whole thing adds up to 28. So the known sides add up to 20. So take that away from the 28. So my two sides have to add up to 8. Well, what's 8 divided by 2? I have to share this distance of 8 feet with two sides. So 8 divided by 2. And 8 divided by 2 is 4. Now, let's see if that would add up to 28. 10 and 10 is 20. 24, 28. Yes. Okay, so what did we do to figure this out? We know two of the sides equal 10 for a total of 20 feet. If you subtract from 28, you get 8 left for the other two sides. 8 divided by 2 equals 4 feet. Okay? And 13. Use an inch ruler to measure this sticker to the nearest inch. Then write an equation you can use to find its perimeter. All right. And inch. So the, the length to the nearest inch is 3. So if this side is 3, its opposite side is 3. If the top is 2 inches, the bottom is 2 inches. So our equation would be 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3. So the perimeter would be 5 plus 5 for a total of 10 inches. Okay, so sorry about that. Let me repeat what I just said. So we had one side of 2 inches plus another side of 3 inches plus 2 inches plus 3 inches, which if I add up two of the sides would give me 5. The other two sides add up to 5. So we have a perimeter of 10 inches. Okay, so that's it for measuring perimeter using a ruler, an inch ruler and centimeter ruler. In our next lesson, we're going to try to work on finding unknown side lengths. So until then, may the numbers always be in your favor.